this society was developed based on two treatments has now scaled itself into a society for diseases, not just for therapy. And now ISHLT stands for enhancing our understanding of advanced heart and lung disease. And in that context, several innovations, particularly changing from biology to technology, has probably been one of the most important transformative changes in the society. We focused on the biology of transplantation, the immunology of transplantation, the pathology of transplantation, immunosuppression with medications. And it wasn't until we began to think about alternatives to transplantation, recognizing how scarce that resource was and only available for a few, that we began to not only think about scalability with using engineering and technology to bring options. Now we have people miraculously walking out of the hospital, living very healthy, high quality lives, without biological hearts, but with technological hearts that are made of titanium. And that itself is a major innovation, I think.
What do you think has changed? I mean, you're kind of in the lung field, I'm in the heart field, and what has grown up in the lung field during the period of time you've been affiliated with the ISHLT?
Well, I guess I would answer that by saying lung transplantation became a clinical reality from an experimental procedure. I joined the field in 1987 when we did, I think, what was the first single lung transplant in Europe that was successful. In Newcastle, that was performed by Chris McGregor. I was the physician on the team. So I've seen it grow from very early beginnings to what we think we know now, but there's still a long way to go.
In the United States, in 1981, cyclosporin was first utilized at Stanford.
At Stanford, yeah.
Transplant programs were just beginning to be sort of reopened, but not very successfully. There was a program at UAB and the mortality by the end of the first year was 60%. No cyclosporin was available. So when we heard the realization, the announcement that cyclosporin was going to be FDA approved in 1983, two young surgeons, one who had never really had a faculty position, David McGiffin, and myself, began a heart transplant program with a resurrection of transplantation with cyclosporin in 1983. We had a number of patients on the waiting list because of the promise announcement, and then we began. So even though transplantation was not really new, it was really a new era, which was really the same time that you got into it when cyclosporin became available. And then, of course, things exploded after that.
We have enabled the exploration of the big problems. We have enabled some of the solutions that have moved survivorship from what was pretty scary to what is really pretty good. It's not where we want it to be. We continue to want to improve. But my God, the idea that we have a much more reproducible therapy for people who otherwise would not be with us is pretty spectacular.